Peace, peace. This is Brother Faheem, and you are now tuned in to the Lead with Logic podcast. You know the vibes. Welcome back to another episode of Lead with Logic. Man, life is always moving at an ultramagnetic pace, and I'm just trying to win the race, man. And we have another awesome episode lined up for y'all today. Got some special guests. Let me bring my brothers in, man. We got two brothers, man, two entrepreneurs, two guys that are really getting it in. I'm gonna do some introductions so we can get this thing going. First and foremost, we got my man Accumulate Jake and Mr. CEO. I'm gonna introduce Accumulate Jake first, just because of the A. Stay in alphabetical order. Hey, husband, father, entrepreneur, military veteran, y'all. Author, illustrator, volunteer. That's what's up. Crypto enthusiast, educator, and expert. I added that on there. And Mount Vernon native. That is my man. Accumulate Jake. That is my guy. And up well down here, we got my man, Mr. CEO, and married with two kids. So he's a husband, he's a father, um, owner of a dope cocktail brand, Dev on BJESUS. We're gonna get into that. And software architect of 20 years. And he said something that I thought was dope. He's also an avid investor who tells it like it is. Truth hurts, but lies hurt more. And oh yeah, I own a dope cocktail company.
Yes, sir. We here, we building, baby. We building. What to
What's
do?
going on, Jake, CEO, man? How
Oh,
y'all
we here.
doing?
Man, we here, man. We here. What to do? Yep, absolutely.
Man, listen, it's beautiful. I feel like, man, well, I do know y'all, man. It's just crazy to be looking at y'all because we always listen to each other, man. And
Yeah.
you know, I'm normally when we listen to each other, y'all, I'm the one doing most of the listening because these brothers are teachers. I'm a teacher too, but these brothers are teachers. They're community activists, like you see below their names, and they're all around humble brothers. I'm gonna just talk about how I met Jake and CEO. I was in a space. Jake could probably tell me, and CEO probably remember the space I was in when they started following me. I was just, putting out there what I had going on, putting out there the message of positivity and empowerment. And on Twitter or X, the way it works, after you do that, you always check and see who want to follow you. And I got to accumulate Jake and Mr. CEO. So I took note to him. That's cool. And I went in a space that they were having, and I had them switched up. I thought CEO was Jake and Jake was CEO.
Right.
So I'm talking to Jake thinking it's CEO. But my message was really, they were really saying something powerful and insightful, as they always do. They were saying that we really need to get in other uh, areas or categories of asset building so that we can get in that stream of wealth, because that's all a part of economic empowerment. And right away, I was like, oh, these guys are talking my language. These are my brothers. And so I was like, man, just make sure that, we teaching the brothers and sisters, because a lot of times we get so fool's gold so much that, man, we just be scared to even take that first step. And man, I was just met with so much love and positivity because people, we're gonna get into this, people on social media, it can be a little complex, but these brothers just, man, they just embrace me. They encourage me to always come through. And I got to set up my MetaMask. I know they're gonna be on me. I'll be looking. I got to set up that MetaMask. But that's how I came into contact with these beautiful brothers, and I'm so glad that they are on here today, because I want y'all to follow them on Twitter. I want y'all to get behind this project we getting ready to get into. So, brothers, how y'all day been, man?
Man, day's been lovely. Day's been lovely. I'm not gonna hold you, bro. It's great. Happy Friday. We here. We cooking. We were cooking in the space. Two black guys talking crypto for about 3.5 hours, man. Just building on Twitter. This is what we do with my man Jake, man. And yeah, everything's good here, bro.
Same, man. Beautiful day with the family. It's raining over here where I'm at, but the rain don't bother me. It's just water. But yeah, man, real productive day. Doing some great things for the BJESUS community. With some community members tomorrow. And I guess I'll get further into that. But yep, definitely. Like CEO said, a really good day.
Mhm.
So listen, man. Listen on this interview. Just let's get on into it, man. So you could tell the people, man. A couple things, man. And whoever want to go first is cool. Just what you do. A little bit of y'all backstory, what you do, and how you grew up, man. Your parents. Your childhood experiences. A little bit of background info for the people.
Yeah, you can go ahead. Go ahead, bro. I'll follow right behind you.
Okay, so yeah, I'm a middle child of five, proper middle child, as they say, smack dab in the middle. Um, from Mount Vernon, New York. Born and raised. Joined the military. Um, I went to a really high level, I guess, high school that I got into when I was in the ninth grade. Um, a lot of people didn't expect me to join the military, but I did because I always wanted to do my own thing and I didn't want my family to go into any debt for college. Turned that into becoming a geospatial communications engineer. Traveled around the country. I've been to a lot of the states in the lower 48. And at that point, towards the end of my tenure working for that company, I wrote a story, and I read the story to my best friend and my wife, who was my fiance at the time, because I didn't know if it was good, but I just felt like it was this really good thing, and they both said, "Yo, man, that joint is amazing." None of them would lie to me. They're both Sagittarius, come to find out, which is hilarious. So I knew they would be very, very indiscriminate with their response, and they loved it. And they was like, "Well, what you gonna do with the next?" And I was like, "Dang, man, like they I guess they knew my personality." I was like, "I'm gonna get into a story." So then I made a book called "Who Am I," man, and that's kind of how I really got into meeting different communities across the East and the Midwest, like in depth. And I also turned that into volunteering at schools from all over the country, but mainly on the East Coast, and doing programs for about 3 years with them, volunteering and just working with children and everything like that. I've been on the news because of it. Brother Faheem has seen my interviews. I was trying to send him a couple more, but it was real hard to find those. But he's seen the book, so I don't got to flash it or nothing like that. But that taught me a lot about what I wanted to do moving forward. Like I said, or like Brother Faheem said, I'm a father. I got 6 children. They probably hear them running around in my head in my office right now, so they don't care about that. CEO knows what I'm talking. That's why he's smiling over there. He be hearing me on the phone all the time with him. But during the time when I was out there with my book, prior to that, I had caught wind of Bitcoin, and I didn't take it but so serious. My little brother actually really introduced it to me because he's into tech, like CEO. He's a software developer. He's an engineer. He's a web developer. And he was like, "Yo, man, this is a thing called Bitcoin, bro. Like, what you think?" And I was like, "It sounds good, man, but I just didn't feel comfortable. I didn't want to do the research. I was being lazy. I was making money doing that geospatial engineering, so I really wasn't thinking about anything. Like, and he was making money working with me, so I kind of through my ignorance, I did not strike on coin in 2014 when it was like trading between $200 to $400. One of the, when I look back, it was a mistake, right? But at the time, whatever, who cares? Life goes on. So then 2016, 2017, Bitcoin had ran up a little bit in between that time. So I knew about it, but I still wasn't taking that serious. And then my cousin, brought XRP to me. And that's another crypto project. And that project, you know, my cousin, I wanted to be looking out for him. I didn't want him to go into it alone. So I started taking crypto serious because of what Bitcoin did. And that's like my introduction into crypto. There was nobody there to teach me. There was nobody doing what CEO and myself do. So I kind of just had to go out there into the wilderness and figure it out. And my cousin kind of stopped, but something told me to keep at it, keep at it. So over the span of the next, 7 years now, 8 years, I educated myself and became very well versed at crypto. I've been through now 2 bull markets, 2 bear markets, um, and you learn a lot. And I realized early on there wasn't a lot of representation of gentlemen that look like ourselves, women that may come from the same environment. And that stood out to me. That stood out to me because I always was big on our people and uniting and being into technology and business and finance. And I couldn't find that many. Now, shout out to these trailblazers, Da Vinci J, Trevon James, Arthur Hayes, Reggie Middleton. Those are the names that came to my mind that I came across when I was on my journey in crypto. Now, if you go look up all those names on this recording, you'll learn why there's such these powerful, intricate people, in my opinion, in the crypto industry. But I did not know about them prior to me doing my own digging. So, yeah, man, that's my story. I don't know if you want me to go past that right now. I know we still got a lot to talk about, and I know CEO got to give his origin story. I know he a big comic book Marvel guy, so I'll let him, touch on what he is, and I'll sit back on mute.
Hey, that's beautiful, man. Those experiences. Hey, I would ask the same thing. Thanks, Jake, man. Hey, that's pretty expansive, bro. And you gave us some heavy hitters right off the bat. Look, CEO, same thing, man. How you grew up, man, your parents, the parenting style they brought you up with, some of those childhood experiences, man, that kind of shaped you. Go ahead, big brother.
I mean, for me, born in Princeton, New Jersey, I'm a middle child as well. Got an older sister and a younger sister. My older sister is 10 years older than me. Younger sister, 3 years younger than me. Yeah, man, my parents, I'm born here. My parents are Haitian. That's my lineage. So definitely grew up in a Caribbean household. Very sheltered, bro. I wasn't really out there like that much, quite frankly. Shout out to Jake. I add that out there as well. I'm pretty open on Twitter Spaces. I ain't gonna hold you, but yeah, I mean, that's how it was. And then flash forward, I had my first son. Previous marriage, was with her for like almost 14 years. Got divorced, remarried with my current wife now. She's amazing. And in that transition, started up a cocktail brand, man, called Swiss, session with indulged sophistication. There's the bottle here. Right now, it's the white bottle, but we got the current version is green, but this is white. It's banging, bro. 40 proof mojito. What's crazy about this is that, again, I'm a software architect. I've been doing Java development since 2000. Got remarried in 2018, but met my current wife in 2013. So Swiss originated in 2014, bro. That story is kind of crazy because I just happened to move into a new apartment, trying to rebuild my life, and I put like there was like an empty wall, and I put some wine racks on there, about three. I'm a bit of an eccentric there, and had all these colorful bottles on the wall. And then I said to myself, like, yo, like if I have these bottles on the wall, how can I start to make drinks? So I started making drinks, bro. And friends were coming over to CEO crib, bro. They would get drunk every weekend. So wifey said, look, you gotta turn this into a business because we can't be having your friends getting drunk every weekend coming to Mr. CEO house. So that's how Swiss was born. And it just was an expensive hobby for I would say about a good 5 to 7 years, bro. Thousands of dollars in marketing or whatnot. Until one day, again, wifey again, man, women giving that kind of guidance a bit. Was like, look, you either got to pull the trigger on Swiss or we gotta cut this, we gotta cut the umbilical cord because it became an expensive hobby, bro. So we did it. We pulled the trigger, and it took about a year for us to launch, but we launched our first product in 2020 during the pandemic. That was a year, was not a really good year. I mean, losing my father-in-law and having to push this brand, and me myself getting caught up with COVID really bad. It was crazy, but everything was for a purpose, right? So, I know, fast forward to 2023. Well, actually, before, let me step back a little bit. 2020 is when I got into crypto. And it's funny that Jake says about XRP because I got crypto through XRP. Okay, I
Hey,
didn't.
no, I can dig it. No,
Okay,
y'all. No, I just want to slow down, big fellas.
okay.
Y'all go. Yeah, look, we only on question number one.
Oh,
We gonna.
word.
Oh
Oh,
yeah,
okay, okay. But let's go. But let's
listen.
go. Let's hop to it. Let's
No,
hop
no,
to
no,
it,
no,
bro.
no, no.
Yeah.
Y'all look good. Just we gonna slow walk it down.
Okay. So walk it out. Okay.
Like Nipsey Hussle. It's a marathon. You feel me?
Okay.
It ain't a
Okay.
sprint. We
I
good.
thought I thought you wanted a few clips. All right, no problem.
No,
So
no, 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 no.
okay, we're
Just,
gonna dig in.
just like I say, just those childhood experiences and your parents, just things that help shape y'all. You know what I'm saying? To
I
get y'all
think
to this point.
yeah, I think for me, man, like I said, man, growing up, it was a Caribbean household with an iron fist, bro, but sheltered. You hear what I'm saying? So I was blocked off from the world. I didn't really start to see life, bro, until I was 18, 19, bro. That's when I started hanging on the block a little bit. You know, moms wasn't happy with that. That was back in Trenton, New Jersey, and Trenton, New Jersey was gully back then. You get what I'm saying? But shout out to the Liberian community. They definitely welcomed me in. It's a great set of people. You know, my ex-wife was Liberian. My current wife is Liberian. You know, and it was an amazing experience dealing with a different culture that, you know, I wouldn't say, I mean, again, we're all melanated, bro, but the Liberian culture is not the Haitian culture, right? But the just the sense of family was there, you know what I mean, from like strange dudes that would just bring me in and used to call me Mr. You know, Mr. Haitian boy, you know what I mean? But I was part of the family, bro, and I've always been there. So I would say, like, with the siblings, my two sisters, my older sister, man, I mean, you know, she did her part, bro. I mean, growing up, you know, mom dudes had to work. My dad was not here at that time. He was in you know, Canada, Montreal, trying to come into the states here, United States or whatnot. So she held it down, man. And I think that's what built my character up. That's why I'm domesticated, bro. So like the cooking, the cleaning, the washing, you know, the changing the dirty diapers and all that. That's me, bro. I do it all. It is what it is. I think it's my mom that put it on me, and then my dad too. You know, he was a strong daddy. I mean, they're both living still. Thank God for that. They just celebrated their, I think, 45th wedding anniversary, bro. So they've known each other for damn near over half a century, man. So I mean, that's the kind of love I want to experience, that I am experiencing with my current wife, man. She's been amazing,
Yeah, hey,
and yeah, man.
that sounds like that's a lot, bro. I
Mhm.
would say as far as you not getting off the porch until a certain age.
Yep.
Listen, I heard 50 Cent say something, uh,
Hmm.
and I love it. It really expresses that the sentiment when I hear people say that they were sheltered. You
Hmm.
know, when you take your children to the zoo, you want them to have that jungle or that safari experience without the danger, right?
Right.
That's what the wall is.
Hmm.
Otherwise, even when you go to Africa, people they go on a safari and there's still that distance because that's the jungle and
Right.
it's still danger. And you don't have to be right in it to understand that it's danger there.
That's
Just
right.
as long as somebody teaches you it's dangerous out there. And when you go out there eventually, you need to remember A, B, C, and D, because
Right.
that's going to keep you from those apex predators. So, hey, bro, you
Mhm.
surviving. Hey, look, you don't have to be in it and not, you know what I'm saying? Just because you're not
Yeah.
in it, mean you're not getting the lesson
No,
you
I
can.
mean, listen, my family. Look, my cousins, bro. When I say grimy, bro, like my cousins, they had no choice. They came from Haiti straight into Newark, Brookdale Avenue, man. Shout out to them, man. That avenue was not an avenue to be played with.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
They had to. So for me, I was just a sheltered one, bro. Like, we
You were
was
blessed, bro. You were
I was
blessed.
blessed. That's it. I was
You were
blessed.
blessed. You were
But here's the
blessed.
thing, though. I
You were
understand,
blessed.
but I understood. My thing is that I understood the
Yeah, the
streets.
struggle.
I
Yeah,
understood the struggle. I
yeah.
appreciated, what my family went through. You know what I mean? So it wasn't
Absolutely.
one of those things
Absolutely.
where I was like, I'm sheltered and I'm like, like the Bel Air kids. I don't know.
Oh,
No, no,
no,
no,
no,
no,
no, no.
nothing like
I
that.
don't I don't think nobody we look,
No.
bro. I don't get that from you, and I don't think anybody does. But look, but moving on.
Yep.
So some of your as when y'all got older, right? When y'all became older, what were some of those adolescent experiences that really shaped your mind, right? Going from a child, right? And really, Jake, you might expound a little bit more on it just because you didn't really get into your childhood like that. But what were some of those adolescent experiences like? Were you hip hop heads? You feel me? Were you cool nerds?
Mm.
uh I one of the questions is answered. Were you comic book heads? Like what were you boy scouts? You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
What was it, man, that helped you, that you think really kind of helped formulate the men that you became?
Go ahead, Jake. That's you. I've
Okay,
been talking for a minute, so.
so that's a really good question. I didn't touch on it that much because I thought you just wanted us to give you everything up until this point. So I kind of did what CEO got caught on and then he went back.
Yeah.
Um, my parents, shaped my my whole life a lot. I had both my parents and my grandmother in my household till I was a teenager. Then my grandmother kind of, moved out, got her own place. Um, I had all my friends had their mom and their dad. Most of my friends are of Caribbean background, just in the city I'm from. Like, it's just a mixture of all cultures. I played a lot of sports. My brother was like a real high level athlete. So I knew everybody de facto by being my brother's little brother. So I knew all of the tough guys. I knew all of the cool guys. Even when my friends was like, yo, you know him? I'm like, yeah, that's so-and-so. But to them, they was like, oh, no, that's so-and-so, right? Like, he's a big name. How do you know him? Calling him by his given name, not his, whatever name you want to nickname, right? That one of these people that I'm talking about, I remember this happened. I wasn't quite an adolescent yet. I was like still like 9, 10. And he is very black. Like, it's a very black city. Like, at least to me, it felt like it. It felt like black people were the mayor, black people were the this, the that. The only thing that black people really didn't seem to be that much was the police. But everything else black people were in my city. And we used to all play baseball in my city. Like, we were really good at baseball, really good at basketball, really good at football. Like, we were known in our whole county. Go look it up if you wanted to. When you look up that county, Westchester, we dominated, right, my city. And baseball was something we were really, really good at, and we would always be the only black team, all black. Like, we would be all black team, and we would be really good at baseball. And I remember some other team that wasn't black, they were white, came to our city to play us. And we were watching our older brothers play, because all the little brothers hung out together. Everybody that was everybody had a big brother that was the same team. And I remember this one friend. He was like a year older than me, but I looked up to him. And this was the first time I ever seen this happen from somebody I directly knew. The white kid called us niggers. And when I tell you that he applied pressure to that white boy, I never seen nothing like that. So at that point, I had no fear of people or none of that. And I thought it was a good thing. And that shaped my life to this day. I always tell that story. His name is Keith Williams. Shout out to him. He was a really high level athlete. He's a good dude. You know what I mean? And I publicly told that story, how that experience right there probably set the tone for how I behave moving forward in my life, with a level of pride and a level of ability to always voice up these things and recognize issues between our people and other cultures. So that would probably be one of the biggest positive. That was a negative that turned into positive, because getting called that by somebody white is crazy, especially when you're like 9. But see him and be brave enough, this white boy and anybody. And I think he punched him in the face, actually. I think he punched him in the face, which is pretty bold, right? Especially with the culture and everything. But it was needed, it was warranted. And to me, that's something that, along with seeing black excellence, like seeing black excellence in every facet. I'm talking about sports. I'm talking about musically. I'm talking about in entertainment. You know what I mean? I'm talking about in education. Like, I saw it everywhere. Like, both my parents are avid readers. Like, I got books everywhere, man. No exaggeration. I got books everywhere in my, you know what I mean? Me and my wife are avid readers, but it was normalized for my household. I can't speak for my friends. And then the other thing is my dad. And my mom is amazing. My mom was very street smart. I don't know how my dad got my mom. I'll tell you that right now. Like, I don't know how he pulled it off. Shout out my dad. Because my mom was just like that lady. But my dad was like, always seemed like a nerd to me. And, maybe at sometimes I was young, I didn't really like it. Because I'm like, my dad is like nerdy, right? But my dad always had a computer. We always had internet ahead of the curve. We always had technology ahead of everybody in my city and other cities, right? So my dad we had cable mode in the 90s. We had super fast internet in like 1999. Like, I didn't understand what he was doing and what he was setting me up for in the future. But those are two instances in my adolescence, in my pre-adolescence, that I can say shaped it. And then just hustling with my cousins, shoveling snow at a young age, making money. I was a caddy. That was a shock for me culturally. It taught me a lot about the world and how these white men conduct business and how they talk and just observing it, right? And then seeing how a lot of black men work hard and they make a lot of money, but they don't get to talk about it because it's off the books, it's caddy. You make it off of tips and they pay you cash. But I learned a lot on that golf course, man. So those are three years, my adolescent and my pre-adolescent that shaped me. CEO will have his own, but those right there are three things. So my dad with the internet and technology, my friend Keith Williams doing that instance of standing up for all of us when this kid said something crazy, and then me going out there and riding the caddy for 2 summers. And for the age, I made a ton of bread. And I didn't really understand the money, but understood the lessons. I learned how to play chess with those black men caddying. That's why I first learned how to play chess in the 9th grade, was because the black men taught me. I learned a lot about life. I learned a lot about working extra hard. I had to be up at like 3:30 in the morning. My dad would drop me off at 40, and then I wait around for an hour and a half to caddy. So it just taught me a lot. Be there all day, miss friends the whole summer, and just those are mine. I don't want to take up too much time, but I wanted to give a good answer to the question because it's really.
Oh no, you good, you good. That's a super duper well rounded answer that you gave, and I can appreciate it. CEO, go ahead, big brother.
I mean, for me, I think, listen, growing up being sheltered, right? Being in these, from I would say from fourth grade all the way up to high school, bro, I was the one that got picked on. So when you say the nerdy, I was the nerdy guy. All right. I didn't get no chicks. I didn't get any of that. I got picked on like crazy all day long. But what happened was I internalized that kind of, I would say I would say like a painful moment, man, because you trying to connect with people to be friends with folks, right? But nobody wanted to be your friend. But what I did was I would crack jokes. So my wife's always told me that. A lot of people that I've interacted with always tell me like my jokes can be dry, but then you laughing. I'm not laughing. I'm just telling you what I feel. You feel what I'm saying? And they just bust out laughing. Like, all right, well, I think I got something here. You know what I mean? So I would crack jokes. That's what I was about. That's how I carried it. So it built my character to be a loner. You see, I'm a kind of guy I can go to a restaurant and be like, yo, I walk in. I've said this story on this Twitter space, but I'll be like, yo, they say like table for two. I'm like, no, one. Table for one. That's me. And I want a booth. That's me. That's what I would do. You get what I'm saying? And it built me to the point where I wasn't allowed to have friends, bro. So my only true real friend, like a close friend that I tell them everything, is my boy down in Atlanta, like Atlanta, Georgia, bro. And I'm saying now through crypto, I can call I can call Jake my brother now. You know what I mean? But if people actually listen to us talk in spaces, they'll be thinking we've known each other for years. And I only met this dude in the summertime of this year, but we connected on that level, right? But for me, it's like I'm a kind of guy that friendship is a bonus for me, right? I can move like Denzel in Book of Eli. That's how I can move. Like literally, I can move like that because I internalize all of that constant being picked on and disrespecting and like just the butt of everybody's joke. So I can just internalize that and say, look, I can walk on this earth alone if I wanted to. That's the gift that I have. But I'm sociable, right? I can entertain folks. I can host events. That's what was great with Swiss. Like I'm out there, I'm talking with people, interacting with people, always have a cordial characteristic about myself. So I would say, being sheltered and being picked on allowed me to be able to enjoy life on my own. You get what I mean? And then interacting with people is like a bonus for me. Like, all right, wow, okay, this is cool. It's a nice experience. But bro, and everybody leaves, I'm still okay. You get what I mean? Because I've internalized that. So I would say that for my dad, listen, that's my dad, bro. That's Pops. He always kept it iron fist, bro. He worked for my mom. My mom basically handled the house, bro. My dad just went to work. I don't even think this dude knew his social security number. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. Like people will call, what's your social? He'll say, listen, here's my wife, and she'll get you my social. I don't know nothing about it. But he had that work ethic, which now, up until now, he's about to be in his 80s, bro. Like he still got his physique, he's still moving around, he's still keeping himself active. So I want to be like my dad when I grow, when I get to that age as well. And that's why I try to stay active as well in my life, man. I mean, there's no laziness in my family. We just keep grinding. And I grew up in a household with women who empowered themselves, bro. They were all working too, right? I mean, my mom was not a stay-at-home mom, bro. Like she would get up doing her housekeeping.
She was doing a thing.
She was
Hey,
doing the
bro.
thing, bro. Yeah, absolutely.
Hey, that look, both of y'all got some pretty interesting upbringings with your parents being heavy influences on you. Like you say, your dad, man, being a tech guy, your dad being a worker, and your mom being
Yep.
the one who ran the house, and your mom being super savvy, street savvy.
Mhm.
That is pretty good, man. That's super dope. And I love how what you're telling me, CEO, is that you are able to be self-sustained. You were
That's right.
able to gain power that you absolutely need, right?
Hmm.
Because I tell my children all the time, life isn't fair. It's 90%, it's 10% of what happens to you, 90% of how you respond to it.
Hmm.
And it seems like you picked that up right away. And
Early.
growing up and growing older has helped you with that. And
Yep.
a thing that I would tell you guys in the spaces, X spaces, you know, if you've ever been on Clubhouse, if you've ever been on the internet in a space where people, where it's a massive or it's a collective or a group of people, what tends to happen is people tend to like to dominate the conversation. The loudest voice is the truthful voice. And then people become sources within themselves. And then also people are triggered very fast. And so, uh, you know, I'm getting old. I'm probably older than both of y'all. But uh, I understand myself when you have knowledge of self, which I'm sure both of y'all, I know both of y'all do, you understand like, hey, things that I will tolerate, things that I won't tolerate, right? Things
Hmm.
that I will do, things I won't do. But I respect how you brothers conduct yourselves, and I can see how y'all's upbringing and those experiences have absolutely influenced that. So that's kudos. It makes sense. So this is what I would say. We're always talking about, like I said, when I jumped into that space with the brothers, we were talking about empowerment, Black empowerment, melanated people's empowerment. So, real quickly, just so we can keep it moving, I want each of y'all to give me real quick, what is y'all's philosophy on black people, melanated people's empowerment? How do y'all see that?
Jake, you start off. I'll come back right behind
Dang, that's a really he didn't give us none of these questions in advance, so he just shooting them at
you.
us. So
Nah,
let's watch.
He's shooting him by the hip, bro. So that's what it is. We cooking.
Yeah,
This is all we
which is good, because you get a real response.
Yeah, you gotta get a response. Yeah,
Um,
absolutely.
so what does melanated empowerment look like? Um, it's not just one facet, right? It is, spiritually, it is mentally, it
Mhm.
is education, it is finances, and it is family, and it is trade, right? I think all of those things are important to our empowerment. Um, being that we're all intertwined in this societal system of capitalism, one of the ways that you can sharply get those other ones is by the financial aspect of it. If you know how to maneuver and get those um gains, or whatever you want to call it, or lessons, right? It doesn't have to be just gains, but if you learn how to do certain things, from real estate to having your own business to having a foundation, to starting a school. A lot of people don't know schools are big money. You know what I mean? That's why they start them, because they're money, not because they care about you per se. To what me and CEO are ultimately here to talk about, crypto. Um, that is melanated empowerment globally, right? It's not just a unique thing or a Western thing. It is a global thing, meaning it can empower all melanated people on this realm, axis, plane, planet, whatever you want to call it, whatever you believe. In this region, in this society, you know, I know Brother Faheem's in the hip hop. I know CEO's in the hip hop. Y'all watching that probably his joint. First you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the mother effing respect. And whether or not you agree with that, if you look at it, that is how it goes in society. Now, knowledge of self is always foundational, but not something that starts the process to that empowerment. And that empowerment usually comes with your finances. So that's that's my answer to that question. I don't know. CEO might have his own take on it.
I'll say this real quick, CEO, before you
Yeah.
go.
Yeah.
Hey, Jake, I think that you're right with what you're saying. That is that the knowledge itself is something that you add on to, right? You want to make sure that you build. That's the foundation. You know what I'm saying? It's not the omega. It's just the alpha. So you start with knowledge itself, and knowledge itself should give you the uh, it should give you the blueprint, the drive, the motivation to understand that you can bend your mind, you can bend matter with your mind and make things happen. So yeah, absolutely, I get what you're saying. Go ahead, CEO.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's on the same lines. I mean, that's what I think as well, quite frankly, man, because we got to start. Look, for me, empowerment is first removing the blindfold of ignorance. All right, expanding your mind, being willing to learn, and evolve. Right, because as each year goes by, you're getting, you're getting closer to the time when you have to leave this planet. You get what I'm saying? I don't think people really realize that, right?
You get closer to checkout time, baby.
Yes, check out. Like it's you in that line. So when you're in that line and you're trucking along, you got to be gathering this information. And then I don't believe in just retaining that information for yourself.
Gotta share it. Gotta share it with your brothers and
Share
sisters.
it,
Gotta
bro.
share
You
it.
got to be able to put it out
That's
there.
where the blessings are.
That's where the blessings come in. That's where the knowledge come in, right? And that's where your legacy comes in. Imagine if you have
That's
all
right.
this information
And you
and
just
you
hold on to it.
hold on to it and then you go. Nobody knows who you are. Nobody knows what kind of impact you left behind. It's not cool. Like for me, I know in life they say you're not supposed to toot your own horn and have accolades, man. But people need to know that you putting the work in. They should at least know that. Like when people mention, like for instance, Prince, a lot of people don't know that Prince was a big giver, bro. He did a lot of donations to a lot of organizations. Nobody ever knew because he wanted to remain anonymous. Man, f that, bro. If you doing it, let them know that you're doing it, and let them know that you're intent on why you're doing it. You get what I mean? Like that's how you leave your legacy behind. So for me, my main function is to leave my legacy behind for my children first, my wife first, and in the world, bro. Like that's basically what it is. And the world is literally be Jesus. I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I think we'll get into that, but that I believe that is the ticket in decentralized finance. And I believe that our project is going to be the pioneer for that because of the specific demographic that we are targeting here. But that's my empowerment for me, man. Just keep building and moving forward and evolving.
Hey man, I like it. Jake, what you're saying, being well-rounded, right? Being the whole person, right? That's how you're dealing. That's how you define melanated and black people's empowerment, right? Not just the knowledge itself, not just the spiritual, but the emotional and the financial is the catalyst that you spring off of. And I hear what you're saying as well, big brother, be Jesus and building a legacy, right? Sharing the wealth, sharing the knowledge. There's a saying, brothers, that when a person dies, a library full of wisdom dies. You put a library full of wisdom into the ground. So we want to make sure that our libraries that we can spread vast and wide, that our books of knowledge, we can spread it with our family first, and then with our community second, and then with our nations. So absolutely, man. Now, along that lines, real quick, along that lines, brothers, how has y'all's perspectives on what you just said? How has that shaped your ventures thus far? Like I said, I know, Jake, you had that book, I Am, which is an awesome book, y'all. I know, Mr. CEO, you got your liqueur, if you will. But how has melanated black empowerment, how does that shape? How do y'all utilize that when y'all are going forward with these things that y'all are doing?
I guess I'll go first because I've been going first. That would be go first. Okay. So my book in itself, man, asks the ultimate question that everybody asks themselves is, who am I? I got it here. I didn't want to do it, but that's the book, right? Like,
Please do it.
in the
Please
book,
do it.
yeah, that's the book. Who am I? Um, and that book is really based off of probably instances that every black child has went through over the past 50 years or so, asking that question, the young man is noticing that there's all of these times in history where they're not really talking about us unless they're talking about slavery, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, you know what I mean, Frederick Douglass, that we usually get. And that's the reality in this country. I don't know about the rest of the world, but here in the United States, that's the reality. Like, Frederick Douglass, Harriet Tubman, Rosa Parks, Martin Luther King, have fun, go about your business. And they'll talk about everybody else's history, but when you go to Africa, they don't really talk about anything other than Egypt, and they're saying that they don't look like you, which don't make no sense, right? And, however, that book really I don't know what the word is, right? That was my birth into actively finding solution to empowering us, right? Because that's the problem. How do we empower us, right? And we've gotten really good at pointing out problems, but a solution is way more valuable than a problem, right? So that was like my way of starting a solution. And then it turned into, yo, man, you just can't put out the book. You got to volunteer. Once you volunteer, you got to volunteer with young people, because it doesn't matter what older people think. It matters what the youth think, because you get to this age where you're over the hill, no matter what. You're over the hill at like 28. I hate to tell it to everybody. 30, 28, you kind of getting over the hill in a sense of you don't matter to what's going to drive the culture at that point. You're not the person that everybody's probably going to look to. There's going to be younger, cooler, faster, bigger, stronger people coming out, right? That's what happens as a parent. I noticed that being a dad, right? So that was the start. And I realized, yo, man, the education system isn't broke. It works exactly the way it does. That's what happens when you volunteer. When you volunteer inside the education system and you start getting to talk to teachers and you talk to principals and you start realizing that their hands are tied. They can't talk about things. They may want to, but they can't. That's why they like a volunteer. You ain't worried about your money. You're there for free. So that taught me, oh, man, this book is not enough. I could write 52 books. I could get them all in there if I really wanted to, but is that really going to change anything? It's not, because I took my book to boards of education and I got rejected. And they would find any reason. They went to meetings with me, even though every teacher and principal I went to their school wanted the book. So it was very fascinating to see, though, the board of education not even take meeting with me or make me sit there all afternoon, tell me to come back another time, right? And that's why I made crypto even more of an avenue that I just saw as empowerment, because no permission, was permissionless, right? It was, breaking off of the system, traditional finance, which is the banking system and the stock market. It ran 24/7, 365, right? And that is where my past experiences, helped me get to we ultimately are doing this interview to talk about, BJESUS at some point. It started off with, that backstory of where I came from and shoveling snow, to joining the military, to having, children of my own, to writing a book, to getting into schools and volunteering and doing a lot of service, right? Serving teaches you a lot, right? Like Muhammad Ali said, he judges people by how they treat the waiter. They treat him. Because that's how I really get to find out how you really are. Not by how you treat. I got fame. I'm the heavyweight champion, Muhammad Ali said. But you just treating that waiter over there because he's nobody to you. So if I wasn't the heavyweight champ, that's how you treating me. So you're not a good person, and he's serving you. That's the person bringing your food that you eat. They could spit in your food, they could poison your food, and you mistreat them. But people don't think about that kind of stuff. I'm really big on, service. I'm really big on community. You get a lot more from giving than taking, is what I heard. So, yeah, man, I did answer the question. It was you got a lot of good questions. We're not really prepared, but I gave my honest response to it, brother.
No. It's all good. No prepare. Hey, like I say, man, just give me your earnest, honest answer, man. And you know what I'm saying? Y'all keep it quick so we can keep on going, because we're gonna get to BJESUS and all that good stuff. And y'all gonna have time. So that's what I'm saying, real brief, high level answer so we can keep moving along. It's on you, Mr. CEO. You need me to run back the question? Or are you good?
Yeah, run that question back one more time for me.
What I was saying was,
Mhm.
we were talking about black and melanated empowerment and what that meant. And for you, it meant legacy. For you, it meant sharing the wealth. For you, it meant, you know, capitalizing on your time while we're here, because we're not here for forever, right?
Yeah,
And
that's right.
being able to think, being able to evolve, and being open and receptive to it.
Mhm.
So the next question, and it was beautiful, your answer. The next question that I have is, how does all that shape your ventures, right? How does your belief in how you define black and melanated empowerment, how does that shape your ventures, the cocktail company, Be Jesus, things like that? How do you keep that in mind when you're moving forward? Does that make sense,
Yeah,
black man?
yeah, it makes sense, man. It makes sense. So what I try to do, because again, there's not too many melanated people in this business, bro. I mean, it's nice that we're now starting to see, more black distillers, which is dope. But when we were getting into 2020, I mean, it wasn't much, bro. It wasn't much. I'm starting to see more pop up now I mean, during the pandemic and after the pandemic, a lot of melanated businesses that deal with alcohol has popped up. But I would say like this, man. In the beginning, because I know that we were a melanated business, there were times that I would just be behind like a director behind the camera, bro. They wouldn't even know Swiss was a black brand. I'm not gonna hold you, bro, because I know in this business when we come out in certain locations in certain areas, bro. Like Jake was mentioning these golf clubs, they racist as hell, bro. Some of these golf clubs, bro, they don't want to see black folks at all. All right, a lot of these private clubs, and when we go out there and venture and talk about Swiss, and they found out that we were the owners, they were like, they're not with it. But let me tell you, when that black empowerment really became in the forefront is when I went down to Atlanta, Georgia. When I went down to Atlanta, Georgia, and I saw all the black excellence down there, it completely changed my mind. Like I literally went down there for a visit. Me and my wife, we came back. We said, you know what? That's it, bro. Listen, Swiss is black owned. You don't want to mess with Swiss, man. Then hey, there's a door. I'm not going to even interact with you. It is what it is. If you're not with our product because you don't like our skin color, man, then hey, it is what it is. Because in Atlanta, Georgia, to see that you got all of these black businesses. It's not like, okay, the owner is melanated, but he has his business and he put Caucasians in the front to run the business. Like, nah, bro. Not only is the business melanated owned, but the actual waitresses and the waiters, they're also melanated, right? The cashier is also melanated, and then your customers are melanated. It's like, look, now I understood when they said Chocolate City. I understood what that meaning was once I went down to Atlanta, Georgia. So to me, that empowerment, I carried it back into Swiss heavy. I just changed the whole format on it, man. I was like, you know what? We're not going to be directors anymore behind the camera, bro. We're going to be in front of that camera, and they're going to know what it is. So then, like Jake was saying, fast forward to 2023, Be Jesus, bro. It only makes sense, man. The only melanated crypto community on the blockchain. I mean, look, let's get this thing popping, bro. Like I already took that experience from Swiss and going down to Atlanta, Georgia, and understanding what black greatness looks like, quite frankly, in such a close confined space, right? I'm not saying that there isn't any melanated businesses anywhere else. What I'm saying is that I'm from New Jersey, central New Jersey, bro. Out here, bro, it's the Italians, it's the Russians, it's the Jewish that run these liquor companies, these liquor brands, these liquor businesses. It's the Indians who are handling these liquor stores and the Pakistanians, bro. Like they're running it. They're running it. So you're not too many of us there. But when I was down in Atlanta, Georgia, yeah, man, black folks, man, the liquor stores and bars and all. I'm like, okay, I can rock with this. So with Black Jesus, bro, it's like literally putting the gloves on and it fits. It just makes sense. I'm a melanated man. Jake is a melanated man. We were devs. There was about 10 devs on that, and that's how BG's was born, bro. And I've been repping it ever since. So that's my thought on it.
Listen, oftentimes when we be talking in the spaces, well, I remember specifically speaking in the space, we talked about how, if you build it, they will come. Because, there is a unsurety that I think a lot of us have. There's a tendency to shy away from being unapologetically who we are in business. But when you look at other cultures, they don't do that, right? They stick together and they will let you know that this is whatever own, and we're going to keep it like that. We're going to keep it within the family, and that's how we're moving. And so we always say, y'all, if you build it, I remember telling Jake and CEO, if you build it, they will come. Meaning this, you don't have to like it or how it's packaged, but do you like the product? When you see that this is a quality product and it's caught on, it's selling, and most of all, just to connect everything, what we need to have is that unity, because once we get our own people to buy in, and they see other groups see that it's successful and that it is exploding, then when you build it, they will come. So hey, we just have to buy in. We just have to continue to support young brothers and sisters who are entrepreneurs, who are doing something, and who are open and transparent enough as Jake and CEO to come on and really explain who they are, what's their what they're doing, and the why of what they're doing. So man, that was excellent, fellas. Like I said, I just want to keep it high level, y'all, so when we go in, so we can keep it, you know what I mean, so we keep it moving, because we're gonna be on here till judgment day, you know what I'm saying? But but I'm loving it. So here we go now, high level, y'all, because we still moving, because I know this is gonna perk y'all up. BJESUS, tell me what it is and what's going on with it. Remember, high level, because we still moving. Whoever wants to tackle
Jake
that.
can run it. Jake, you got it.
BJESUS, man, it's an idea. Some might call it the greatest social economic experiment of modern day. I believe it's a paradigm shift, because the first time in modern history, melanated people don't require permission from other cultures to go out and gain a level of freedom and power on this thing called the blockchain. It is a meme project, you know, paying homage to a character that is in a show written and created by a black man that created the Boondocks. Shout out to him.
Aaron Magruder, that's who he's talking about, y'all.
Aaron Magruder, yep.
I'm sorry,
Magruder. No, you good. You made it easier because I was trying to remember how to say his last name. I always mess up his last name. I knew it was Aaron, but I didn't know his last name. So I was giving myself time. So thank you for the alley-oop. You know, the main character is Black Jesus, played by a gentleman named Slink Johnson, which my fellow member of the community, CEO, found a way through his intent and his manifestation to get him to come into Twitter Spaces with our community and hang out with us, man. No payment, just organic, pulled up, shot the shit, was real down to earth, hilarious. And he got him some BJESUS, and he also got him some merch. And as a community, we're getting him a jacket to rep BJESUS, and it's fire. It's custom made. I actually CEO, the lady might be finished tomorrow with that final. Shout out to you know, Black excellence, because we're all about, you know, empowering Black businesses. So a Black seamstress and designer, you know, the community came up with a design for a jacket. I sketched it up, sent the lady, and she's making it happen. So I can't for that. But it was 10 Black developers, as CEO mentioned previously, that had all had experience in crypto, and we saw the racism. Collectively, we probably got like 50 years in crypto collectively, right? So that's a lot of experience, a lot of you know, things to go through, and we realized it was very racist. So we decided to do something about it, and what better way than to name a project, which came from one of our fellow devs, NFT Mansa. And he said, you know, man, fuck this Jesus, man. This white, blonde hair, blue eyed Jesus, Black Jesus. And it was just like a aha moment, like, yo, bro, like, everyone's gonna try to create something like this. That needs to be the name, because the name itself lets you know what it is. Like, unapologetically Black in an area where they don't want you to be that. They want you to get into their project, but they don't want you to grab the mic and say anything. And if you do, you usually get attacked. Like every single one of the gentlemen I mentioned earlier in this case that are pioneers in crypto for me, that are Black men, 3 out of 4 have all been under some kind of loose scrutiny wrongfully. No matter what, all 3 of them. Reggie Middleton has patents on DeFi. Trevon James got harassed for just being somebody that was sharing a referral link. And Arthur Hayes is the first black billionaire in crypto off of Bitcoin. Arthur Hayes, you can go look him up. He's from Detroit originally. He's the one that started one of the first, what is it called? Leverage trading exchanges. And he just recently got off house arrest. But this is what they do, man. They try to castrate you publicly when you're doing something like that. And that just ties into the reason for the project. And that's how it came about. And it has no ownership, meaning it could be token. Just because you help build something doesn't mean you own it, right? When you give it up to the community, at that point, whatever happens, happens. And if you're a real community member, you're going to do everything in your power to spread word, educate, you know what I mean, empower your people. That's what empower is. It's knowledge. Because for lack of knowledge, our people shall perish. Is like, you know, a little bit of the paraphrase of that famous proverb, right? So that's the real empowerment, is the education. And that's what BJESUS is all about. And its inception was always based on empowerment. Empowerment, for me at least, being one that I think that was the same for CEO. And that's why him and I get along so much. And I know what word he used, so I refuse to use it because I know he's going to say it. That's what he's been saying it since I met him. Starts with an E too, but it's not empowerment. And it's one of those things where, you know, when I'm all in, I'm all in. You know, so the minute I decided to be a part of it, I'm gonna do everything I can to make it, you know, become a mainstay in our community. The same way that these cultures make it a point to make us all talk about Ciroc, Hennessy, Nike, Amazon. Black people use these things like nobody. The NBA, I'm a Cowboys fan, I'm a Redskins fan. You're pouring in billions of dollars into these industries with zero ownership, right? Like, and if you got ownership, it's 0.01% of the totality, which is terrible. I think it's actually 0.008%. I looked it up. For ownership of all of these Fortune 500 and publicly traded companies or private companies. So that's what Black Jesus is, you know, right now. And we'll get into more of what it is because I want CEO to go. But for me, that's what it is. And we create merch that I'm wearing right now, hat and everything. And we coined some phrases that we'll talk about in a little bit, but that was a community thing. And there's a lot more I want to touch on, but I want CEO to get to his point. So I'll mute up and let him give his take on it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I think. Listen, he said it all. Quite frankly, bro, Black Jesus is a melanated crypto project created by us, for us, but not. See that shift, right? So it's for us. We got to get as melanated people. We got to get on this blockchain and understand that the digital revolution is already here. It's not like, oh, it's coming. It's already here. And we're trying to get our people ahead of the game.
It's been here. That's right.
Yeah, it's been here for a minute, bro. It's been cooking. It's been cooking, brother Faheem, for a minute now. And you know, all these distractions that are out there, we're basically saying, hey, slow down on the distractions, come over to Black Jesus community and watch us build, man. And that's what we've been doing. We launched on Juneteenth, 2023, and it's been an amazing experience, man. We have about 600 or so holders now in Black Jesus, bro. And yeah, that's what we're doing. I see Jake got out of there, but he'll probably be back. But that's what we're cooking on, man, brother Raheem. We are doing our best to make this project, this community, this asset, BJESUS, be in the top 3 cryptocurrencies in the world, bro. That's a big undertaking, especially starting off as a mustard seed. But our intent is key, bro, and it's definitely verified on the blockchain.
So listen, real quick, just if y'all can clarify for the people, I know y'all came in. I think y'all said 20. Correct me if I'm wrong. 2020. That's when y'all got into it, or 2019.
Yeah, I got in 2020. Jake
Okay.
was, I think, 2017, I believe.
Okay.
For Jake,
BG,
me was
for
20.
I got in 2017,
So
2017, 2016.
Correct. 2017, 2016 for Jake in crypto.
Okay.
Me, I'm 2020 for crypto. but Black Jesus launched on June 19, 2023.
Ah,
So
and you
20.
guys and y'all, I know you're a dev
Mm-hmm.
inside of Be Jesus. And Jake, what is your role inside of Be Jesus?
I'm a dev as well, meaning just we just a part of people that will help develop the concept, figure
Mm-hmm.
out certain things, how we want to go about it, yada yada yada. That's how projects work. If you have been on a project, you got project managers, you got that, and it's just working to actually get it out there to people and see if what's gonna happen. I also was there for kind of the inception of the whole idea. CEO might not have, he wasn't there for that. It was me and three other gentlemen, two gentlemen, so three of us. We were just having this conversation about how racist this shit is going for all three of us, right? Like all three of us within the span of that week had some crazy experiences on Twitter with different cultures in crypto, saying shit, yo, you're gonna be our slave because all you're gonna have to do is buy Bitcoin at the price it is, and you don't have a bunch of Bitcoin. Another gentleman that was intricate in a project that is doing phenomenally well right now. They wouldn't let him speak on the mic about his issues as a black man, but they let him come there and hit our culture to promote their project and his skill in that, that art form, that hip hop. Shout out to him. So it was a lot of frustration. And instead of complaining about it, we decided to create a solution, right? Be solution oriented, not problem oriented, right? And you want to go fast, go on. You want to go far, go together. So it was 10 devs ultimately, men and women too. It was women and men, black, that came together, and we figured it out. And like CEO said on Juneteenth, we launched it on a blockchain with the belief of 80 other melanated children putting in to the project. So from the onset of its inception to come to launch, it was a community project because a total of 86 believers to help launch it, right? Like it cost an amount and people donated that. They just gave it. They just, all right, what do you want? Okay, that's what it is. Let's do it. And one of the ways that we, you know, rewarded that belief and protected the community. It was really about protecting the community. Rewarding was to provide 51%, ownership to those believers. And all verifiable on the blockchain. And what that did was that did exactly what it needed to do, which is protected that project from bots that would have ultimately tried to kill the project, which CEO and I could talk about it. That shit actually happened within the first week attacking it. But those 86 believers, man, shout out to them for holding strong and holding the line, as they say in war stuff. Like you held the line, I passed that, and here we are, what, 5 months later, still building because of that. So salute to them.
Man, that is awesome that you guys were able to take something from concept to creating it online and presenting it to the people. And when I tell you guys, it is awesome. I'm a part of the community. I followed the page on X. Absolutely follow YouTube brothers. But I followed and looked into it, and I was like, wow, this is like you said, this is an action item, and it's not something that revolves around a bunch of talking. It's not something that revolves around a whole bunch of redundancy, meaning we're complaining about something, we're actually doing something. And Be Jesus is the proof that, hey, when people put their minds together and unite, right? We don't have to be uniform. We don't have to all be the same, but we have the same objective and the same goal. We can move forward. And hey, that's what it's hey, that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? Like the Be Jesus hokey pokey. But but no, man. Real quick, how can the people get some Be Jesus?
I mean, what we've been doing, as you know, brother Faheem, right? Because it's not just getting the asset, right? We could easily do that and say, hey, just get the asset and call it a day. We're putting the knowledge behind it as well. So the first step, obviously, is since the asset is on the Ethereum blockchain, it is decentralized. you're going to access it in a decentralized way, which means you need a crypto wallet. We point all of our members to download a MetaMask wallet. It's on both the iPhone, the Apple, and the Google Play Store. It's called a MetaMask wallet. When you download that wallet, you're going to create a password. When you create a password, there we go there. When you create a password for the wallet, that is going to allow you to enter the wallet. Once you're in the wallet now, right? Actually, before you enter the wallet, it's the MetaMask is going to give you 12 seed phrases. You see those lines there with 12 seed phrases? Those names you got to write down in order. In order. It's very, very important. When you write that down in order, you're going to store that into like a safe or put it under your bed. Treat that as your social security card. Does anybody get access to that? Those 12 seed phrase, they got your wallet, right? And then MetaMask is going to ask you to re-enter it in to make sure that you put it in properly. And then there you go. Now you got your MetaMask. Now you're asking yourself, how do we get BJESUS? Well, our website is blackjesus.life. Blackjesus.life. You go there, you're going to see our contract there, some information on our intent, on why we launched the project, when we launched it, and what's the future for the project as well. Our merch store will be there as well, but Jake can give you a better breakdown on our merch store and our merchonomics. But basically, you will go to that website, blackjesus.life, and you will copy that contract address. Okay. You go back to your MetaMask, and then you would import that contract address into your MetaMask via the import tokens link in your MetaMask. There's your contract of BJESUS in there. How you get it? Well, we've been doing it, man. We've been like Santa Claus, bro. On these Twitter spaces, we have been airdropping BJESUS tokens to those who are willing to learn about crypto. Now, when we're airdropping, what that means is we are giving away BJESUS. All right. It does have a monetary value. Make no mistake about it. This is not monopoly money. Okay. We're sending it out. We're paying these Ethereum gas fees. It's not cheap, but we're doing it with the intent for it's kind of like we're getting you into the game, right? Because those white boys ain't doing it, right? They're not doing it. Bitcoin was not 30, $40,000 a coin. All-time high was 70 something thousand, okay, for one coin. When Bitcoin came out in 2009, 2010 or so, you could get 10,000 Bitcoins for probably like $3, bro. Like, I mean, that's what it was. Okay, but they weren't coming out to black folks. The punk hair, white boys with all the piercings and all that, the nerdy guys. Those guys were talking to their peoples and their friends. They weren't talking to us. They weren't talking to the melanated people. So when we say Black Jesus is for us, that's what we mean. But we're not against anybody else. See, that's the difference, right? If you Caucasian, you want to know about Black Jesus, you don't know about crypto, come on over. We'll take you in. But let me tell you something first, though. You got that white person there or that Caucasian got two black friends. I'm going to talk to the two black friends first because that's what we're about, right? We're about making sure that our people are on the chain, bro, on the blockchain. It's a requirement. So that's how you do it, bro. Once it's in there, we airdrop it to you, and then you could also buy it, right? But we can get into more details with that. You can actually buy or acquire BJESUS utilizing Ethereum as the main source of the coinage on the blockchain to be able to acquire BJESUS. So two ways: airdrop from the community, or buying the Ethereum through the MetaMask wallet to go ahead and swap for BJESUS.
That's
As well.
That's awesome. So basically, what y'all are telling me is y'all are incentivizing people to not buy the asset just to become familiarized with
Yes.
another asset, which
Yes.
is the blockchain. And you're
Right.
absolutely right. I have some crypto, right? I can't remember. It's on my phone. It's a a website, man, and it has, because I remember a few years ago, I think I want to say 2020, when everybody was at home,
Mm.
when Bitcoin, because Bitcoin, brothers and sisters, is like the grandfather of all, right?
Mm.
And then it was, then you got Ethereum, then
Ethereum,
you got it was one
Solana,
more too. It was
XRP,
Litecoin was another one.
Litecoin,
Litecoin was another one. I remember
Dogecoin.
back in 2015, my
Mhm.
guy was telling me about it. And you're right, back in 2009, Bitcoin was selling for a quarter at one point. It was real cheap. It was
Cheap.
dirt cheap. It was
Dirt.
dirt. Like it was so cheap that people would think it was a scam, Jake. Right?
Yeah.
They would say, "Man, that's a scam." And I'm gonna say something about that too in a second. But yeah, incentivizing people, because make no mistake, you guys, this is another viable asset and it's already here. I like the way CEO put it. The digital revolution is already here. It's just that we're not really savvy in it. You know what I mean? And I don't it is my conjecture, it is my opinion and my perspective that we're not really up on tech the way we should be in general, not just the blockchain, just tech in general, right? Because it's a lot of facets that you can get into within technology. This is just an asset that I'm loving that you guys are saying, look, you don't even have to buy it. If you want to buy it, get you some Ethereum, purchase it like that. But we just want you to come in. We just want you to be aware, be cognizant of this wealth building technique. Now, what else? I know y'all are doing something else on Tuesdays and Thursdays because I know y'all are incentivizing. Tell the people what y'all are doing on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And I'm gonna pull up y'all's each one of you guys X's account so that people can become familiar with it. But talk about what y'all doing, man.
So yeah, it's Tuesdays and Saturdays, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We do Crypto 101. And what it is we listen to our community. So I've been teaching crypto for years, off that, and even on other platforms. But our community on X, Twitter, like, yo, man, like maybe you teach some of our folks here because they're ignorant information, about crypto. So we listen and we execute. We executed and we started doing Crypto 101 about 3 weeks ago, give or take. And at this point, this Saturday we'll be at episode 8 of 12. We're gonna do 12 total episodes, teaching people the importance of speaking the language, knowing the difference between a centralized exchange and a decentralized exchange, understanding budget, knowing the difference between a coin and a token, understanding how to build yourself a healthy portfolio, right? So not just about BJESUS, right? It's about understanding crypto and blockchain so our people are prepared for this digital revolution that has already started, right? As CEO said. And if you're happen to be in a class and come up, grab the mic and you're new, and you say, yo, man, I did it. I downloaded a MetaMask. How can I, get some BJESUS right there live? We'll onboard you. We'll help you set it up, the contract, and add it to your wallet. And from there, we'll send you some BJESUS. Now, will it be $25 worth? It might be 5 cents worth. It might be $5 worth. It all depends on how much we send that day. Like it doesn't matter. You're in the game. But what that does is that incentivizes anybody to go further learn, right? Further figure out the rest, though. Learn about the Ethereum blockchain. Learn about Bitcoin. Learn about Matic and all of these other projects that exist. Yeah, there you go. It looks like you got Crypto 101 episode 7 right there that Faheem has pulled up. That was the most recent one we did this day, and we try to keep it short. So most of the information is within 20 minutes. By 20 minutes, you got the whole class, and then the remainder is just everybody building and talking about the information or about crypto or what they are saying, because it's interactive, right? Meaning it's not just somebody talking at you, it's you being able to talk back at them and get a response, right? And we love it. And what you see right now is some of the other things we're doing in the community. If brother that too, I can. We currently, as a community, we're doing a homeless weather code drive. So what you see here is almost 60 bags of cold weather gear. Here's one of them right here with the items inside it. Sponsored by BJESUS and Feminine Vibes, of course. Tomorrow. They're NOI members and whatnot. But you got socks, you got neck warmer, you got gloves, you got toothpaste, you got toothbrush, you got some of them got deodorant, hot packs for the feet and the hands. And this is something we're doing in multiple cities across multiple states. And it's really important because this is a paradigm shift, right? All these other products, money. We talk about education, empowerment, community. Now, people might laugh at that, but those are the things that are foundational. Because once you have that foundational, you have a community of all different melanated people that are really behind you. The gains or whatever you want to call it come later as a community. And if CEO wins and Brother Faheem wins, we all win that's in the community, and vice versa. You know what I mean? So it's kind of a paradigm shift, like I mentioned earlier. And people don't really know what it looks like. It's very, very innovative, it's very creative, and it's very new to crypto. And once you step back and you observe and you show up to a few of our spaces, we also do Sunday service every Sunday morning, 10:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We talk about what we've accomplished for the week or what we got going on, what we with the community. We allow anybody to come up and speak, give ideas, and that has bred a lot of good things in the community, like a fantasy football league, BJESUS Fantasy Football League. That's how we got to the code drive. We've kid drive. We've done a backpack drive, 2 backpack drives. We've done drone racing league, right? I don't have the drones here; they're upstairs in the bag. But a lot of things have come from that. The merch was brought to us by community members. Yo, y'all should get some merchandise. So we was like, okay. So what that bred is something else, which we call merchonomics, which is the first thing we've ever seen in my crypto experience as CEO, and somebody that me and him both have come across that we know, who's been in crypto since the beginning. Since the beginning, he said he's never seen anything like that, right? And all the merchandise sold that you see me wearing goes into nobody's pocket but the community. Meaning, when we want to go and help take some BJESUS off the market, that's how we do it. We use that to do that. If we want to go buy better drones for our children in the communities, right? We can use that pot to go do it, and you can verify. And then the last thing that not much recently, but we did this as a community, is we brought 12 olive trees from a Black farmer in our community for the community. So we own 12 olive trees as a community that have to get planted, and when they get planted, they grow to fruition. They have a value attached to them. When they get acquired by somebody else, we bring that back home to the community. And I'll leave the last thing that we do when it's talking about the community, wallet to CEO and how that works, which is super, super, super innovative and super amazing to be a part of as a member of the community. I don't know if you're a CEO.
Yeah, I can.
Real quick, Hope, before you say CEO, because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna stop sharing Jake's page and I'm gonna share your page, CEO, while you're speaking. Thank you so much for that, Jake, because that was awesome what you showed on your page. And I'm sorry about that. It's Tuesdays and Saturdays, and then on Sundays you guys have Sunday service. I might have to pull up. I might have to pull up to Sunday service, man, and jump on the microphone and speak with y'all. What was I gonna say? You said something, Jake. You said, and I'm pulling your page up, CEO.
Sure.
But you said something. You said just real quick while I'm in the bridge. You said education. It was 3 things. You said education and empowerment. I thought I missed the second thing inside of there. What was that?
Yes. I think it was education, community empowerment, right? And that whole financial thing is like literally we don't mention it that much. We talk about the opportunity of it's affordable if you want to go get some more. And if you do, we don't ever tell anybody, yo, put hundreds of dollars. We'll be like, yo, man, $20 if that's what $20. It's just that amount of Ethereum, which is a whole nother asset that you need to know about. That's why it's important to go crypto 101. That's why and it's recorded. So if you missed any of them, you can play them back. And within 20, 30 minutes, you got all the info. So
absolutely,
it's not like you got to sit there for hours on end.
And watch this: education, community, and empowerment. I love that. ECE, education, community, and empowerment. BJESUS. That might be something y'all could put on that shirt because that's an actual, that's something tangible that people can get behind. Now, he said he was going to leave this to you, CEO, as
Yes,
you're
sir.
explaining it, brother, the wallet, that community wallet and how that works. I don't know if y'all were paying attention. He said that when you put in, like when you buy the merch. So listen, it's a song called Entrepreneur by Pharrell Williams that Jay-Z is on. It's one of my favorite songs, right? And Jay-Z said, we vertically integrated, right? People don't realize when you vertically integrated, you deal with all aspects of the business. And so what he's saying, what Jake is essentially saying is that Be Jesus is a project that enhances or incentivizes vertical integration because when people buy, right? Y'all tell me if I'm wrong. When people buy, it goes right back into the pocket. So that goes into that empowerment. That goes into when you read statistics about how different communities, how their money is circulated inside of the community. This is actually practicing that, right? This is practicing that in real time. So what CEO is getting ready to break down is how that circulation builds up Be Jesus and also kind of break down on a high level that vertical integration. Is that right, you guys?
Yeah, you spot on with that, man. That's basically what it is. I put it to you like this: when people ask, like, because in crypto they're gonna ask, besides it being a scam, the other thing they're gonna ask is once they find out that it's not a scam, they're gonna say, "What's your utility?" Our utility is the merch store, which call it. I always coin it the corner store, right? Because it's like that corner store in the neighborhood, but instead of it being run by a Puerto Rican or Pakistani, is run by a melanated. It's a melanated community, a melanated man or woman that runs it, right? That corner store, when you go to that corner store and you purchase any items like the hat, the shirt that Jace got on, right, that says Be Jesus, the profits from those purchases gets re-injected back in the community by a couple of ways. First, we we acquire more Be Jesus asset off of the market. When you're acquiring that asset and you're not selling that asset value is going to go up, right? Because you're acquiring it, you're holding it, but you're not, selling that asset back in the market. We also then use those proceeds to acquire other appreciating assets. So let's give an example, right? Imagine if Be Jesus launched in 2010, not 2023, but in 2010. And we had that same ideology of the merchonomics. And we had acquired 10,000 Bitcoin in our wallet. 13 years later, we got 300 something million dollars in the community wallet for the community. You see where I'm getting at right now? Like, I don't have to go any further because math is math and math never lies. The only thing that lies is human beings, bro. It's an emotion. The math and the money and all that is binary, bro. It's either you have it or you don't. It's very simple, right? So that's what the merchonomics is doing, acquiring the Be Jesus asset so it doesn't go anywhere. You can see it over there while we're looking at there. You see that crypto asset called Hold. That specific asset is in our community wallet. What's so special about Hold? This is another crypto community that's decentralized on the Ethereum blockchain, just like Black Jesus is. The only difference is this community is not targeting Black folks to get them into the community. We are. But what we're doing is we're dipping into that community stash and acquired their asset and brought it into our community. So now with those tokens sitting on our wallet, once that asset begins to grow in value, that's our asset. You get what I mean? So then now we can release that asset back into the market and get our profits from that. And then we can redistribute it in that community wallet for our community. So I will look at it like, you know how they say when the dollar comes into the Black community and then it's like literally like 3 to 6 seconds is gone.
It's
But if you
out.
go, it's out. But if you go like to the Jewish community or the Spanish community or the Arab community,
It's
it stays
days.
in there for days.
Yes.
Look at this community wallet like literally afterburners, bro. Like literally, it's the one that's gonna shock the community to boost that circular economy within our community, right? Because imagine if you get a BG, imagine if you acquire BGs today. This hold asset goes parabolic, and then we take those profits from the hold asset, and then we reacquire the BG's asset and leave it in that community wallet and never sell it back on the community. That asset that you have, that asset, BG's asset that you have in your wallet, that value goes up as well, right? Now you can take that asset, you could also sell it back to the community if you want, or you can transfer that asset to another melanated community member and say, listen, I need to get a few. I need to get a few shirts in a few pants for my for my son, man. I heard that you're a fashion designer. And that fashion designer says, yeah, man. But I accept BGs. You got BGs for me? Yeah, I got a ton of BGs. How much you need? Oh, it's X amount. So instead of selling it back on the market, all you're doing is transferring that asset to that individual, and then they're giving you the goods and services. That's what these 25 melanated businesses that are in the Black Jesus community is doing. This is the reason why I say that we are different, because we are targeting our people. You get what I mean? As you can see what Jake is doing there. These are individuals from like cocktail companies such as myself. I take in BJESUS. If you want some Swiss and get your weekend looking nice on the weekends, I take BJESUS. Jake's wife, Energy Good Candles, amazing candles. I got that burning right now in my kitchen. The money draw, because I need more money for the CEO household, right? You got shout out to Jewel X Petra. She takes in BJESUS. She does jewelry as well, right? I mean, we got real estate as well in there. We have other fashion. We have other fashion designers that take in BJESUS. So what I'm trying to say is, man, brother Faheem, in a nutshell is, we have replicated Black Wall Street on the blockchain. Full stop.
Wow, that is amazing. And that's huge because out here, like going back to my first conversation with you guys, where y'all welcome me, teaching people, y'all are doing just that. Like I was coming in from an ignorant perspective, and ignorance not a bad thing, right? It just
No.
means you don't know.
No.
It just means you don't know. But now I know, and the world will know. Like you guys are educating people. You guys are. It's not. It's big. I love that. It's not about be Jesus. It's about asset and wealth building. It's about
Yes.
empowerment, community, and education. And be
No.
Jesus is just the vehicle that you guys have chosen to execute that.
That's
That
it.
is so. That is so phenomenal, man.
Mhm.
Listen. Uh, this is not the end. This is the section of my interviews where I get to have a little fun. Jake know what's getting ready to happen. Jake know what's. Hey, CEO, you probably do too. This is
A little
where
bit.
I get to. I'm so glad you guys gave me such great content, and now it's my turn to ask y'all some. You know what I mean? Some logical, some lead with logic esque questions. Before I do that, um, well, you know what? I'll just get into it because at the end, I want y'all to. We're gonna remind the people, what y'all got going on, where to buy Jesus, where to come to hear you guys live, where to
Mhm.
support, and different things that y'all are doing that y'all got coming up.
Yep.
So y'all know here at Lead with Logic, you guys know y'all, my audience, my support base. Y'all know what I do, man. I take things that are uh, triggering positively and negatively, bait and switch, so that I can enhance your knowledge, wisdom, and understanding. And I get brothers and sisters like CEO and Accumulate Jake, who are celebrities. The world just don't know it yet, but they will be. Um, they're celebrities in my eyes. And I like to get y'all's take. And this is great because look, y'all get to see that these brothers are just like y'all. They're real people. They are transparent and they're touchable in that y'all can identify with their ideologies and their philosophies, right? They are not just sitting in an ivory tower creating. They're at ground zero level and they feel and they understand and they interpret just like the rest of us. So with that being said, um, I got my questions, right? I wrote these down. So three things, and I'm gonna tell a story. I was in a space with I was in a space listening, and CEO was in there. It was me and CEO and a group of Be Jesus community members. And X is a peculiar place because again, it puts people who have scholarship, people who are doers and activists and on ground level with people who don't always have the most genuine and the most empowering motives. So we're in this space, and there's a gentleman. I'm not gonna say any names. Jake and CEO know who I'm talking about. There's a gentleman, and he's being condescending, right? And he's like, man, he's really beating his chest. From what I observed, he was really beating his chest. He wanted to be recognized as an authority, right? And I'm in the back channels telling both Jake and CEO, man, come on out of there, because he doesn't want to learn. He doesn't want to dialogue. He wants to act a fool. Um, and it really, Jake said something. He said, yeah, I'll never do that again. I'll never argue with somebody who is not contributing to the people, but yet has so much negativity to say in these spaces. Listen, I want y'all to both tell me, right, about social media and what has been y'all's experience with trolls, with naysayers, and just some challenges that you guys have noticed with our people, right? With our people specifically, and other people uh generally.
I can probably take that one real quick. I'm gonna be brief with it. Um, okay, you know how they say with money, it doesn't change your character, right? It just basically just exposes your character more on a much higher level because
Magnifies it.
it
That's right.
magnifies it. That's the word. That is what social media has done for our people, which means if you're ignorant in real life, you're going to be 10 times as ignorant on Twitter or on Instagram or Facebook. That's exactly what it is. All right. It's ignorance personified. That's basically what it is. So that personification creates the troll because with the troll, you're able to maneuver in that space and just be this thorn in everybody's backside. But you have a special place because guess what? When you're a thorn, you have more engagement. Jake will tell you when we're talking about BJESUS, man, you probably have a handful. You've been in there, brother. You've been in there, brother Faheem. We don't have 150 people. We have yet to get 150 people in our space. Besides,
It's coming. It's coming.
oh no, it's coming. No, I know it's coming, and I believe it's going to come after this podcast because you're well respected in this space, right? So I think that's what's going to happen because if they're saying, well, if brother Faheem can get these two melanated brothers on here, it must be serious, right? But I digress. The thing is that it's the personification of pure ignorance and stupidity. But Black Jesus is here to fix all of that. You get what I'm trying to say? And we are going to fix it one way or another. Oh, Jake is dying, but I'm telling you, like, this is what it is, man. You either got to get with the program or your troll friend is going to tell you,
Get with it or get
let
lost.
it all get lost. So that's my thought process. I'll let Jake come on the other side with that and hear his thoughts on that.
So it, only the ignorance is really bad, it seems, on Twitter X. For the most part, my experience has always been pretty positive. Up until, recently with that situation you talked about, and that's really been that one instance with that one, right? And like you broke it down perfectly, brother. Like, you want to be an authority, but you never came prior to CEO or myself being an authority. So now all of a sudden you see two other dudes doing it and you want everybody to listen to you. It's kind of funny. I like the CEO. Money never made me who I am. Money just afforded me to take care of my friends, something that I always would say, right? But I was going to try to take care of my friends without the money. So money just allows you to do it. X, if you're a troll in real life, you're just going to be a big one. It's going to magnify it, as you said, right? And
That's right.
I think one of the biggest things that I noticed is you can see X being the residual effects of things like Love and Hip Hop, VH1 reality shows, and no offense to her, I'm not even gonna say her name, but certain celebrities
Exactly. Absolutely.
that that got popularity from certain behavior. Now people I'm gonna behave like that on these apps and these social medias, and I'll be able to become rich and famous. And people lose themselves. It becomes like you get trapped in it. It's algorithm, it's lighting, it's certain things that you constantly need to be re-stimulated by swiping, and now everybody has an opinion. Right? They're like assholes, right? Like I got one, and they're full of shit, right? So I like to say this, and I've gotten a lot of people liking this statement. You got to learn to use the app and not let the app use you. I'm really big on that. And what I mean is, you can touch people globally and talk to them without having to worry about looks. Like Instagram is about appearance, right? Twitter is about, listening and talking and reading. If you read between the lines, you listen between the words, you can gauge what CEO says is people's intent. And if you see a level of consistency and transparency, you gotta like start to realize, like, man, this is different. Like, this is a good thing. Like, so that's been my experience with social media. Twitter is quite different than the rest, because like I said, the algorithm literally rewards you for ignorance and violence and anger and aggression. Like CEO said, you see 150, 200 people in most of those type of rooms. You get into a room where you're calm, having to build about education, empowerment, community. You might get 20 people on a good space, right? Now that comes with time. I haven't been on it very long. CEO hasn't been on it very long. Um, but even when you post things, like we've had space with over 200, 300 people, but that was for Sister Sophia Store, who is the creator and the writer of The Matrix, and she decided to rock it with us because she liked what we were doing. Again, we didn't pay her. Community member knows her, has a connection with her, and reached out to her, and she said, "Yeah, I would love to do it." And we demanded respect from as being one of our elders, and really just wisdom and greatness. You could go look up her story. Um, but that's like really even when we had Slink in there, I think we got to like 50 people. We had Slink Johnson. He's like a writer, a actor, a musician, a comedian. He worked on the Boondocks. He is the star of Black Jesus. And you would have thought, man, his following would have came in there, and nobody realized he was probably on Twitter at the time. And it was amazing. Don't get me wrong. We didn't do it for numbers, but it just shows you that people think they're gonna go on social media and get rich, and it's fool's gold, right? Like, you still got to do the work. You still got to build a community. You still got to really chop away at the tree to knock it down. You just don't blow on it and the redwood falls over. Now you got to chop away. You got to go resharpen the blade. You got to hit it from another angle. You got to get both sides, and then eventually it comes down in your favor. So, um, have been really big on intent. We're heavy on the intent, and we're heavy on consistency. And that's my experience with the whole thing. But X, out of all of them, man, is by far probably the most. It's an insane asylum. I tell CEO that all the time. Like, I
It's
found
the
out
most.
where all the Gotham's insane come to, man, like to Twitter, bro. Like, because you can fake and you can act like people like to act like they're doing things for the community, and then when you're actually showing things for the community, like you actually are doing it, and you show the post, they kind of don't know what to make of it. It's kind of like foreign to them, and it's foreign for me to see that kind of reaction, because I'm about execution and really doing stuff. So, and CEO is too. So, you know, we get a little bit of flack, but most of the time, people let us, speak on it. They may not give a shit, but that's just ignorance, and we don't mind it. And but we'll come back later and be like, we tried to help you, we tried to give it to you. Now it is what it is. Like, whatever that value based on the world is, now that's on you, type of thing. So
Listen, um, going back to what I was saying. First of all, thank you, brothers, for those beautiful responses. Going back to what I was saying and what you guys were saying, what you just said to move backwards, Jake. People being so surprised at action. That's the unfortunate part of our culture that I think you were saying spills over into Twitter X, right? We love communicators so much. We love speakers so much. When you think about the people that we glorify and highlight historically, it's the speakers. It's not really the doers. It's not the doers. So my issue with X and with our people, with melanated people in general, is this. Let's not think that just because you're talking, that equates to doing. Let's not do that, right? Let's do less talking and more doing, right? Because here it is, you got two brothers, and y'all are, I'm sure it's others out there we're gonna see, but it's like, man, education, empowerment, community actually doing, because people would rather see a speech. They don't really want to hear one. But when I go in these spaces and they're arguing back and forth about redundant topics that aren't really gonna vertically integrate out us collectively, not even in business, just us as a culture, right, CEO? Like, okay, this community, we're not gonna say no name, this community and this community, all right, this group, this ethnic group and this ethnic group, all right, well, what are we doing in the community for the community to enhance the community, right? And so that's what's always funny, but it's kind of uh disheartening to me, because when I see people who are doers not being uh celebrated, with instead, like you said, Jake, you might, when you go in a space, man, if it's some debauchery, you got 300, 400 people in there, and it's a rap concert. Everybody's on the microphone, everybody's cutting each other off. There's nothing constructive being said, and it's just the energy is chaotic. But then when you got brothers like yourself who are building, people get to be a little bit unrealistic in their critiques of you. Not all, just some, y'all. Not all, just some. So yeah, man, thank you, thank you, thank you. Next thing, black and melanated people's reluctance to unify, because that's what I came in. I never forgot that. Brothers and sisters, they were emphasizing education, empowerment, and community, and they were saying, look, we're giving this to you. And by the way, y'all, this is not them saying it. This is me saying this. If you know history, you know that when things are given away and people don't take to it, Jesus is on the way up. So it might be good. It might be wise to get in now, because I don't see it being free for much longer. I don't see the game. I don't see the information that they're giving out being free. And if you think I'm lying, go look at other people who are doing what they're doing. They do it for a little bit, but after it begins to swell, and or they see that people don't, appreciate it free, well, now it's going to be a small fee, just a small fee attached to it, because when we were giving it away, you didn't seem to appreciate it. But getting our people to unify, what have y'all, or what's y'all's philosophy on that, and what have you kind of seen? Does that make sense? Is that a fair question for y'all? Y'all understand it?
I think it's a fair question, but in reality, it's kind of a loaded question. The reason why I say that is because it's in history, man. We you know we've always been bounded as a community, right? But I believe based off of this machine, I know folks say white supremacy. I'm just gonna call it this machine has these components that has injected its venom into our melanated communities and just broken up family homes, bro. So the nucleus is no longer there anymore. Now you can't have the street. You can't thinking you're going to get that nucleus from the street. I don't know. Everybody's different, but I know how I was brought up was the street was only meant for you to drive on and get from point A to point B. Um, and it's a shame because really the nucleus is from the home, so that you got an idea. So that when you go out in the street, because the street is a jungle too, bro. It's jungle out there, right? You don't want the jungle in the home. What I feel is because of this system, It has taken the jungle from the street and injected it into the home. So how do you expect? I can't be angry. Look, I can get frustrated sometimes. Jake will tell you sometimes in these spaces, I'm like, man, my people, man, what the hell is up? But then I can't get angry. What do you expect? We've been dicked around for centuries, bro. Like, what we talking about here? When I say centuries, again, my lineage is from Haiti. I don't have any lineage here. But I'm always going to look at Black Americans here as my people, regardless, because we're melanated, we're Black, bro. Like, police pull my ass over right now, and police pull your ass over right now. You a Black man in that car, I'm a Black man in this car, right? They're not going to ask what your lineage is because the eyes, right? They're just going to see the color first. They're going to see the facial structure first and say, this is a Black man. So I'm coming in from that perspective. But I would say like this. So since we're in this podcast, I'm going to keep it 100. Black Americans here in this country has gone through a lot, right? Africans and Caribbeans in their country has gone through a lot. White imperialism, that system is not just here, it's global,
That's right.
right?
It's everywhere.
It's
Yeah,
everywhere, and everybody's has their unique cases.
that's right.
So to me, I speak it on like I can't get that angry with my people, bro. I just gotta just constantly be like, all right, man, you done with your ignorant shit? Are you ready to learn now, or you want to come back tomorrow? Like, and that's what I've been doing. I go into these spaces and then you know what? After some time, then all right, CEO, all right, what you got, bro? What? All right, what's this BJESUS shit you talking about? All right, no problem, bro. It's not shit though, but it's fine. It's fine. We're building, and that's where I'm at with it, man. Like it can get frustrating sometimes, but at the end, bro, listen, man, we got leeway, bro. It is what it is, man. Our people has just been systematically, and then two, even, I mean, I know this is a podcast, but I'm gonna say it because I'm a realist, bro. Even our own melanated people has dicked over our people. You get what I'm saying? So it's not like
Absolutely.
you get what I
Absolutely.
mean. So it's not
Yeah.
even like, okay, well, this is a Caucasian. Okay, I know about you, bro, but not my brother's keeper, right?
Right.
But our own brother's keeper has actually sent us out lambs to slaughter. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So that's another thing too. And
That's
hey,
right.
that's why all of those traumas, I am never aggressive when it comes to Black Jesus. Never. I just sit down, you go through your emotions. When you're done, I say, okay, are you done now? Yes. Okay, good. I'm still here to teach you Black Jesus when you are ready. That's my job.
Consistency. Hey,
Because
listen, I'm sorry about that, CEO. Consistency, bro. And that goes back to what you said earlier, being resolution minded, right? And not problem minded, resolution oriented, and not situation or circumstantial oriented. That's absolutely it. I always tell my kids it's easier to control your emotions than your reaction. It allows you to see the world in 3D, and it also allows it to go slow so that you can, like the Speed Force with the Flash. You a comic book guy, right? I'm a comic book head too, sort of, kind of. But yeah, the Speed Force, the Flash is able to move. He's able to move in it. When you can control your emotions, brothers and sisters, you have a speed force around you, and you are able to move around in the world at a much faster speed. Maybe not physically, but absolutely psychologically and mentally. Jake, what you got on the topic, big bro? You need me to go back over, or are you good?
Yeah, just say one quick time. I was just really into CEO's response, so I want to just make sure I answer the question
Oh,
properly.
I was too. That's why I asked, I asked you again. Um, Black and melanated peoples uh kind of resistance to unify, right? What is your perspective on that? Your philosophy on that?
Okay, so I got when CEO was talking when you first asked, I got a lot of books. I read a lot. Like you see this book right here, Miseducation of the Negro, right?
Carter
And
G.
then like
Woodson, yeah,
Carter G. Woodson. And then you see this little, a piece of artwork I got, but it's Muhammad Ali.
the champ.
At one point in American history, Muhammad Ali was the most hated man in America. In America, they made him divide not only white people, but they made Black people pick a side between him being and choosing a belief system versus what he was saying. Oh, he's a Nation of Islam. Not the same as you other Black people, Joe Frazier people and military veterans that are Black. And that was just a divisive thing. So you know, I listen a lot when we're in these spaces like these. And I'm really good in a discussion with somebody screaming. I'm really listening, even though I'm ready to respond. I try to listen, right? And I shout out my wife and my children, because being a dad teaches me to listen through the noise, because there's always a lot of noise in my house, right? So I got to learn to listen. And when you dealing with little children that speak fast or they just speak differently, you got to learn to really listen. And you start seeing, like CEO said, I don't get mad, but I realize the level of miseducation, the level of hurt, um, the level of confusion, and you start to think like, I hear you. You know, are you going to hear me? So, um, I think it's imperialism, it's Western culture, um, that has literally ripped our cultures apart. And the funny thing is, they've taken all the good from us, but they haven't told us that it's us. They claimed it as their own, right? I wrote that a long time ago. Like, this land is a land that another man claimed as his own. Following his footsteps, you're just another clone, right? This land ain't their land. This land is our land. They just made us think that they took us from other places, and they might have took some of us. That's part of the miseducation and the confusion, right? Um, you know, instead of people getting, so upset with people that may be from Haiti, find the beauty in it. Me and brother Faheem have talked about this offline. Like, no matter what goes south, I can always find the good in situations, right? And there's a lot of good to find. I'm saying there's not. Like, they whooped the French ass. You know what I'm saying? Like, I always respected Toussaint. I always like Alexander Dumas. You know what I mean? Which would tie into that. He's the writer of the Count of Monte Cristo and Three Musketeers. His dad is a famous French general that is lineage of Haitian people. My wife is from Jamaica, right? I know about the Maroons. I know about Hala Selassie because of my wife and Rastas and that, right? I know about Nat Turner. I know about Bill Pickett. These are Black Americans, right? So why can't I take the good from all these different cultures that are representative of melanation and put it together, right? Hannibal of Carthage, right? They only talk about how he lost. He's the one that was whooping the Romans' ass. It wasn't until he tried to take over Rome and he did something that was impossible that he kind of put himself in a situation. Had he never decided to take them elephants over the Alps, the history would be a lot different. A lot of people don't realize that, because they could have never infiltrated Africa. He had the greatest military force ever assembled, was a Black man. They don't talk about that. So, I don't know why there's so much division other than confusion and imperialism is designed, right? Like, Malcolm X said this: you got to be careful with the media. It'll have you demonizing the hero and loving the villain. That's right. Denzel Washington said more recently, you got to be careful. If you don't, shout out to Denzel Washington. He's from my hometown, like up the street from where I grew up is where he grew up, right? He
Money
said,
earning Mount Vernon.
if
Money
you
earning
don't,
Mount Vernon.
yeah, if you don't watch the news, you're ill-informed. If you watch news, you're ill-informed. If you do watch news, you're ill-informed or something, right? You're under-informed. So it's like, you gotta watch the news, but you don't want to watch the news because they're lying to you. So you gotta learn how to really be patient, consistent in knowledge of yourself to know that don't sound right. I know my people. Like, CEO's from a rough part of Jersey, right? But he also can say, yo, man, they looked out for me. Yeah, they might have picked on me, man, but they thought I was funny. They actually helped me become the man I am. Where I'm from, it wasn't, it's known for a lot of things, right? But I would never want to be raised anywhere else, because it made me the man I am today. And I turned out pretty good. You know what I mean? My children, I'm proud. I love being around my kids. I learned that from my community of Black people. It wasn't white people. I learned that from men like this, reading books like this written by Black men. I got books for days everywhere in my house. You know what I mean? Like, this is my office. These are all books that I've read and I enjoy them. And they're all created by. That's another thing. 90% of the literature, that maybe more than that we get exposed to, was not written by us. You don't get it to you in sixth grade reading. summer reading. It's not Miseducation of the Negro, right? It's Lord of the Flies, right? Which is coming from a European mindset. It's not coming from a Haitian American mindset or from an Atlantean mindset or a New Yorker mindset or, whatever you want to call it. You don't get that until you break free of those constraints as melanated people. And I think that's one of the issues with that, division, divide and conquer, man. It's been happening for a long time, right? Like, and CEO been saying this lately. I agree with him. People will call it a scam, right? Or people will be like, I'm not a slave. Well, the best slave is the slave that thinks he's free, right? And the best way to get you out of doing a good thing is by calling it a scam. Bitcoin a scam for 4 years. That was the best time to buy it. Now it's no longer a scam because they said so, but they was calling it a scam before. You see how they do that? Like, they call it a scam, now they're saying, no, that's cool, but you told me it was a scam. You know what I mean? Like, it doesn't make sense. Like Tesla, right? I tell everybody this. If I told you right now, Brother Faheem, I got some BJESUS for you today that you got to pay for, but you ain't going to get it for 3 years. Bro, that's a scam, bro. Elon Musk does it. He's the richest man in the world. That's what he does. Tesla. People buy it 3 years ago. They still ain't got. Now he putting out videos. It's bulletproof. You know what I'm saying? I don't want my car to be bulletproof. I want my car to be delivered, bro. I don't give a fuck about the bulletproof shit, right? I'm not a CIA agent. You know what I mean? Like, why do I need a bulletproof car? I'm not Jason Bourne. But see how white people do it. It's acceptable. You do nothing even remote to that. You're under interrogation. You're under all kind of scrutiny. You this bad dude, and it's like, I'm a bad dude, but they've been doing it for literally, like CEO said, for centuries, and you ain't coming at them this way. But I get it, so that's my long-winded answer, but it's a true answer for me. So that's my response.
No, it's all good. I think what you were trying to say was when Denzel, he was being interviewed, and he said, if you don't watch the news, you're ill-informed. If you do watch the news, you're misinformed, right? Saying that
That's it right there. That's it.
You have to break away. And he was basically trying to tell the people, if they were paying attention, you have to really break away and self-educate, right? You have to find that knowledge for yourself, of yourself. And we settle on the best part. Jake, like you mentioned, that CEO and CEO said it as well. And part of being patient, when you're able to have that patience, that is settling. That's a part of settling on the best part, because you have a clear mental picture, CEO, that people, it's not personal, right? That's a strength, CEO. It's not personal. Uh, it's ignorance. I always tell my children, ignorance is not a bad thing. Ignorance just means you don't know. People intended, they use it maliciously to insult you, but really it's just saying that you don't know something. But what I was going to say was, the reason that I wanted to get that question out there, and I know you got something to say, CEO. The reason why I wanted to get that out there, because here it is, two brothers, two African Americans, two original men from this region of the world, and one brother from Haiti, and we're working together, right, to do something phenomenal and monumental. And you guys, me too. I was just talking about the podcast, but really, the same thing in BJESUS. This has united us. So unity is absolutely something that is plausible. It's something that is feasible, and it's something that is doable, because we're doing it right now. CEO, go ahead. What was you gonna say, big brother?
No, I was gonna say, like, I totally agree with that statement, because I've been in these Twitter spaces, and look, Twitter is Black Twitter. Black Twitter has a lot of, I would believe, extremist views when it comes to like delineation, but I understand. Like, who am I to tell a foundational Black American that you can't get these specific, when we talk about reparations or whatnot from the government? That's not my place, bro. If you want it, yo, go ahead and get it, man. Let them give it to you. Hey, go for it. Like, make it happen. Yo, you winning, hey, I win in some way, just because you're winning. You know what I mean? You're on the map. But at the end of the day, man, I tell them, I look at Black Jesus as the United Nations of melanated people. That's basically what it is. What that means is
I love it.
we got Africans, we got Caribbeans, we got Black Americans, we got foundational Black Americans, bro. Like, we got them all here, man. When we're in these Twitter spaces sometimes, and they're like, "Wait a minute, wait a minute, wait a minute, you messing with this dude? This is your dude. I don't mess with that dude. I'm not messing with B Jesus." And I'm like, "Bro, listen to me, man. We are a decentralized community, man. Like, we're not a company. There's no centralization in Black Jesus, bro. There's no centralization. Like, I have not met Jake in person yet. I've been with this guy on this project before June. How does that even work, bro? How does that even happen? It's because of the blockchain. You understand what it is, brother Faheem. You're tapped in. We
Absolutely.
need more of our people tapped in this, man. Like, you can literally build with somebody across the ocean and
That's
never
right.
meet them. And it's like, well, but you're speaking a language. So to me, I look at crypto is already a language, right? But I feel like B Jesus is a melanated language on the blockchain. So when I say Be Jesus or Black Jesus, you're gonna know what I mean. When I say circular economy with Be Jesus, you're gonna know what I mean. When I say that we're gonna be creating a new liquidity pool bank on the blockchain with Be Jesus, you're gonna know what I mean when I say that. Other cultures will be like, "What are you talking about?" But like I've said before, and I won't land my plane here is other cultures are going to get into Black Jesus is going to happen because one thing other cultures love to do is snipe our culture all day, bro, and make money off of it. My thing is, why can't we make money off of ourselves first? I mean, it wouldn't be a nice idea, wouldn't it?
That hey,
That'd be great, wouldn't it? At the
that
end of the day,
listen, that's it. That's it. And that's the way that capitalism works. That's the way that a lot of these international global financial infrastructures work. So what you're saying is very, very realistic and very, very necessary. That rhyme, right? Very, very necessary. But absolutely, man, you have to do something for self that will benefit self, right? To empower self. I love it, man. Listen, whoo, we had a good time, man. We've been going for 2 hours. We're gonna land here. But and when I turn it off, I want y'all to stick around. I always tell my guests to stick around. Listen, real quick. Um, can y'all show the people, Jake, well, y'all can tell everybody what y'all have going on with Jesus, then also what you guys have going on individually. And then you can show the liqueur that you got, CEO. You show those products, Jake, and then I'm gonna say my little speech, my little last segments, and then we're gonna land this plane, man. We're gonna wrap it all the way up. Whoever, Jake, you can go first if you, or CEO, you
yeah,
turn it on.
I can go quick. I can go
Go ahead.
quick. So, personally, Swiss. There it is. There, it's the mojito by Swiss. It's an amazing product. We are working on getting a new distiller partner. So, if you are melanated, in New Jersey, Pennsylvania area, I mean, shit, bro, I don't mind catching a flight as long as you're not in the space that's too cold. I don't like the cold too much, but now I'm just playing. No, I mean, listen, if you listen, as long as you're melanated, definitely, man, looking for distiller partners. I am going to be down in Chocolate City in Atlanta, hopefully Q1. I'm looking for distiller partners, but that's on the Swiss side. We have 4,000 bottles sold between New Jersey and Pennsylvania. We're in over 100 locations in New Jersey. Little small mom and pop shop, man. We still cooking. So that's for Swiss. In regards to Black Jesus, definitely go to blackjesus.life. On that site, actually, there's a new link page. It's called blackjesuslinks.tech. Blackjesuslinks.tech. I don't know if I can I present here or no? Am I able to present on here or no? You should probably do that.
I'm not. I don't.
Not sure. Never mind. I don't want to take away from it. Forget it.
Okay.
BlackJesusText.link. I mean,
Black.
BlackJesusLinks.tech. My bad. BlackJesusLinks.tech. Go to that page. It is a portal for Black Jesus. From there, you can go to our merch store. You can go to our main page. You can go to our Facebook, our Twitter, our Instagram page as well. There's even some chat GPT AI stuff on there as well. BlackJesusLinks.tech is
This
the
one,
page. And yeah,
CEO. I'm gonna pull it up. Black
Black
Jesus.
Jesus Links LINKS .tech TECH. That's the page. That should take you to the Be Jesus logo. It's on a black page, and there you can basically see exactly where you can go to. It's like our main portal page. And then, secondly, Follow all of our social media. We do have a private Telegram. We are not going to put it in this podcast because we don't want. There you go. There's the page, bro. As simple as that. It's on a black page. I mean, it's beautiful, and I love this page. It's so simple. But the thing is, uh, we have a private Telegram. But how you will get that link? Follow me and Jake. Show up to Sunday service. Show up to two black guys talking crypto. Show up to Jake's class. He has a couple. He has about I think 7 more sessions left. Crypto 101 or 4 more sessions left. It looks like damn. Okay, that man's cooking. Crypto 101, and then you can get that Telegram link from us. And then just get in the movement. Just get talking about crypto. We're not focusing on BJ's asset. That's going to come, man. That's going to be BJ's is going to be a multi-billion-dollar project. I'm not even worrying about that. My thing is getting people to understand crypto. That's it. That's how we're doing it. That's my pitch there. I think Jake is next here.
Go ahead, Jake.
Yeah, man. CEO told you the sites. You could either just go to blackjesus.life or you could go to blackjesuslinks.tech. Brother Faheem was kind enough to pull it up. Yeah, man, go visit our merch store. If you're not really feeling comfortable with crypto yet, that's your, right to have. But you want to support, you could go buy a shirt. You could go buy a crew neck sweatshirt that we designed. You know what I mean? And this one says cream, which is for people, about Wu-Tang, cream, right? Cash rules everything around me. But this one stands for crypto rules everything around me. And
Why
that's
did I know that?
That's a crypto play. We got hats, I'm wearing the hat right now, and goes a long way. But the good part is, I was showing earlier, like these are healing crystals that I purchased using BJESUS from AOD Village, along with some children's clothes for my boys. So you can go visit that. They accept BJESUS for value. CEO talked about a lady named Juliet, a black jeweler. I purchased this along with a bunch of jewelry for my wife and children with BJESUS. And this is a black artist named Sneaker Savage. And he made this custom piece
That's
in
dope.
2021.
That's
and he
dope.
accepted for BJESUS. Yeah, man, he made a whole collection he calls it the Cash Killer collection. And you see Ethereum, we on the Ethereum blockchain, so I had to get Bitcoin and Ethereum one to support. But those are just, 3 melanated businesses. CEO has Swiss. It accepts bottles of Swiss upstairs. I told myself I would crack it open. Special time when we stone and BJESUS. I'll put it open and try it out. I'm not a drinker like that, but I'll do it for my community. If that makes any kind of sense. But yeah, man, like I'm all about BJESUS. So pull up to Crypto 101, learn about some crypto for free. It's recorded. You can find it. We had a community member today giving us a lot of props, whose daughter is heavy in crypto, and she was listening to the recordings with her daughter. Her daughter, yo, mom, these dudes know what they talking about in this Crypto 101. Like, that's really good for me. It's free, 20 minutes of your time, maybe 30 at most. We got, 7 episodes. We got 5 more coming when we're done, so it'll be 12. You do the math, you all in at 6 hours, man. You kind of got a crash course where you go to college and pay $1,000 for this kind of information and be lost type of thing. So, yeah, man, Sunday service, guys can pull up, ladies can pull up. And we out here, we got a boat drive for the homeless. I might be doing that tomorrow. Shout out to Junkies. He's another community member who accepts BJESUS for value and work alongside him with his business. I'll be with him tomorrow, doing some work with him, and a portion of revenue from being donated to that community wallet. And that wallet accepts donations, by the way, and Ethereum. So that's something that he's interested in. You can follow CEO, reach out, and he'll let you know how to do it. Really a lot, and I'm all about BJESUS, right? Because it's about education, empowerment, and community. And those 3 things right there are something that I give all my energy and time to outside of my family. Because if I know everybody else's family has that, my children be good, my grandchildren be good, and that's what I'm looking at. Like I said, it's a marathon, not a sprint. Like Brother Faheem said, Nip said, Shout out to Nip. I got him over here right over my shoulder. And the last call, by the way, shout out to my NOI folks. Final call, I'm sorry. And you know, that's how I live my life. You know, I know CEOs about intent, and I'm about community and service before self. So I appreciate the platform. Appreciate Lead with Logic, Brother Faheem. Hope y'all enjoyed, the conversation with us. Go set up a mask. It's free. Educate yourself on how to get some Ethereum. Yeah, he got his heads up. We've been on his. I've been on his ass.
Well, we've been
like
on.
last
And
week.
listen, I want to say one thing before I forget, brother Faheem. Right?
Yes, sir.
Listen, we need more of our melanated women in crypto.
Absolutely.
There's not enough of y'all in crypto. Okay.
Absolutely.
There's entirely too many men in this crypto. Too many white men.
We
in this
need
crypto.
more black youth in crypto too.
We need
Not
more
just the
youth.
women, the youth.
The women and the youth. We need the teenagers, man. We need the young adults in crypto. We need y'all in Black Jesus to help us build this community on the blockchain. And then one last thing, brother Faheem, I forgot.
Yes, sir.
If you want to reach out to my brand Swiss, go to timeforswiss.com, all one word, timeforswiss.com. That's where you can find us. If you want to book us as well, as long as you're in the New Jersey EPA area, I mean, we got to fly out. We can fly out too, turn things up where we're going to be, whatever city we're going to be in. We can do that as well. Timeforswiss.com is what it is. Appreciate
Listen, man. Wow.
And 1 second, Brother Faheem. You see
Yo.
these cards right here?
Yes, sir.
I use these cards that were created by a CEO, another community member, and myself to onboard our people in real life. The youth, I've onboarded a lot of young people with this right here.
Oh, wow.
It's a postcard that allows you to save your private keys and, scan it and get to the MetaMask, app, get to the Telegram, get to the website. And nobody else in crypto has been doing that for any people that know our people. So I wanted to shout out CEO and Irene, two community members that were very integral in this. I gave them a little bit of it, but they made this happen and it works really well. And I feel like if a lot of other projects did it for all people, crypto would be penetrating 30% of the planet instead of under 8% of the planet has any idea about crypto or understanding of it. So that was it. I just wanted to mention that.
Oh, no. That's good. That's good. I appreciate y'all. Listen, man. What a build. I'm super appreciative. I'm super humble. I'm super thankful that you guys would share your time with me and that knowledge, man, because what I'm about, man, is the knowledge, wisdom, and understanding at first, those first three things, which is the man, the woman, and the child, which is the family, right? So, and you guys are just saying it, that you need the Black family to be more involved in crypto, to be more involved in Black Jesus. And so that's what we're going to do. Get this out there, and you guys can put this, it'll be up. I got to get it ready, get everything together. But man, we put it on all of our pages, on what do you call it? Twitter X. Maybe you guys can play this in one of the Sunday services. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can kick back and say, hey, we got something for you guys. I just know I'm thankful, man, that I was able to get with you guys at ground level, at ground zero, because speaking out into the universe, putting it out there, I know you guys are going to explode, and it's only going to, like y'all said, when you guys explode, I'm going to explode. It's a symbiotic and synergetic relationship. Hey, y'all follow these brothers, man. If you're not on Twitter X, jump on, follow Mr. CEO, follow Accumulate Jake, follow Lead with Logic. And my store, which I have my stuff for y'all. I have my own little hoodies as well, Lead with Logic. You know what I'm saying? It's my logo. It's what I stand behind. And it's Lead with Logic 7, right? Lead with Logic, LEADWITHLOGIC 7.com. Y'all go over there, man. We got hoodies, we have t-shirts, we have all of those good things, because I know that you guys are down for some knowledge, wisdom, and understanding, and just some positivity. So look, man, y'all, I'm gonna say it like Mr. Malcolm would always say, and y'all kick back for a second. I'm going to say it like Minister Malcolm always says, this is a wrap, but may we all meet in the light of understanding. Y'all kick back for a second. Hey, peace and love, y'all.
Peace.